It's a self-care day, baby. Self-care looks different for everyone, and in previous videos I've covered things from washing your hair to looking good and feeling good to making doctor's appointments and getting those dentist appointments in. But in today's video we're going to be talking about sexual wellness and just eating a lot of delicious food. So let's get into it. So one of the reasons why I wanted to cover sexual wellness in this sort of self-care video is because I really wish that me and my friends had been much more comfortable talking about this growing up. We are certainly comfortable now, but there are just so many things that we think are, not appropriate. And so one of the things I wanted to mention today is the use of sex toys, because these are things that they're definitely talked about a lot on the internet, and there are some more sustainable options. So Womanizer actually sent me their more sustainable sort of eco premium toy, which I am so excited to share with you, and they are sponsoring today's video, so a massive thank you to them. But I was really excited, and the reason why I said yes to work with them is because it is really hard to find things like this that are more sustainable. So let's get into a little bit more about what this is and how and what makes it more sustainable. So what you see here is the first environmentally friendly, biodegradable and recyclable product with Pleasure Air technology. The toy is easy to take apart compared to other products, so those who will need to part with it can dispose of the individual parts according to the applicable guidelines. Furthermore, the packaging is 100% plastic free and is made of FSC paper, which can also be recycled. And also what I love is that at the end of March, Womanizer launched a global crowdfunding campaign, so showing that not only is there a huge demand for sustainable sex toys, but they also donated the entire amount earned to one tree planted. If you've never heard of Pleasure Air technology, it's literally just a way to stimulate the sensitive nerve endings of the clitoris in a contactless manner with gentle airwaves. If you're interested, you can check out the product at Current Body, so link will be in the description. Honestly, I found these things really important while I was apart from my boyfriend over long distance, and even now when we're still together, we still use these things. So they're, not just for on your own, but they can also be with a fun extra thing with your partner as well. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, because you guys always have such great conversations just between each other as well. And I think it's great to ask questions and to know that you're in a safe space so that you'll have other people who are supporting you, and I'm supporting you, and I would love to talk about this more in the discussions below. If you've ever had an experience where you felt embarrassed because someone made fun of you or they found out. When I was at school, a couple of my friends at the time found something that I was using, and it basically got around school and everyone made fun of me, and it was mortifying, and I just felt humiliated. And really, why should I be humiliated? If they found something that was similar for a boy, they would not have been made fun of in the same way at all. So yeah, I would love to hear any of your stories about self-pleasure and things like that. And if you are interested in checking Womanizer out, I'll put them in the links in the description below. Sometimes self-care also to me means doing things for future Immy to make future Immy's life easier, because definitely at school I would do lots of things that future Immy would absolutely hate, and I would leave work till the next morning, I would leave things unfinished for future Immy to deal with. Now that I'm an adult, I try really hard to do things for future Immy to make her life easier, and as you could tell, my room is very messy. So I'm going to very quickly clean my room. The more I think about it, the more I feel bad that I haven't made space for my boyfriend's stuff, because it just makes you realise that the longer you are in a long distance relationship, the harder it is to, adapt to not being on your own anymore. Obviously we're very much together, but because we spend so much time apart, we're so set in what we like, what we don't like, how we like things to be, where all our stuff goes. So it's going to be quite a it's going to be quite an adjustment when we live together and we have to decide together how we want everything to look. I don't know, it's important to have good storage, because if you have good storage, then everything looks tidier. It is another miserable day today, so we're gonna make some fluffy vegan pancakes. Are you excited?
Yes.
Let's do this. check that it's in. Right. I think there are a few things better than absolutely delicious food, so this is so much more satisfying knowing that I grew these sprouts, the kale, the basil, the peas. Honestly, it is so satisfying. So I'm going to enjoy this before we get into the next part of the video. Good morning, friends. It is another beautiful day outside, so we're going to go for a walk and hopefully we're going to go for a swim, but we'll see if it's calm enough for us. Yes, very excited, so we're going to get dressed and head out. Are you ready to go? I don't know if you can hear me, but that was so cold, but so refreshing. I think, oh, it just feels so good. It has been quite a while since I've been for a walk over the downs, so I think we're going to go this morning because it was supposed to rain, but the weather looks actually pretty nice. So we are going to go for a walk and maybe go and get coffee, maybe some kind of vegan pastry or something, and just generally have a chilled Saturday. We've just been walking along and finding so many wild things, like we found loads of yarrow, which is cool. We've ended up going the real long way round by accident, so we're going to do about 25 kilometers today, but the sea is just over there and it is so beautiful to see. We've been out here for so long that the sun has already started to set. We left at 11 AM I think, and it's now 8:30 I think. We're just making our way across the downs again to go home. It's been a nice night, so we'll probably catch up with you in the morning. Bye. I am actually so exhausted. Yesterday we went out for a 1 to 2 hour walk and ended up hiking about 37 kilometers, which is approximately 22 miles. We did this massive loop of the South Downs way, and I really didn't mean to do so much, but luckily I'm much fitter than I thought I was, so it wasn't too bad. But today, however, I am exhausted. I also kind of wanted to apologize for how random this video is. When I get in this sort of self-care mood, it's kind of like a, let's just do whatever you want. Let's just put work to the side for the weekend and let's do whatever. So this video has definitely encompassed a lot of food, moving our bodies, going to natural spots because nature is meant to be very good for our mental health. So walking on the South Downs, going swimming in the sea, which was freezing, but so nice. And also I did mean to talk so much more about sexual wellness in this video, not just at the beginning. But one of the things that crops up in sustainability is, you know, packaging and worrying about how much waste that we're creating. But safety is such an important thing. And also, you know, using things like lubes as well is really important, especially depending on what kind of relationship or couple that you're in. So I just wanted to say that I'm always going to be an advocate for condoms. They're just the only way to prevent STDs, STIs. So I'm always going to be a proponent of them. And there are lots of good companies out there now that are B Corps, things like that, that are making an effort to create a product that's more earth friendly, whilst also doing its job correctly. And things like lube as well, I've mentioned this before, it can be incredibly important, and for some people it's fundamental just to be able to have sex. So I don't want you to feel guilty about using something that's in packaging, or even just using a particular brand that's maybe not as eco-friendly if it's all you can afford. I think one of the things that comes up when we're talking about sexual wellness is a lot of people are embarrassed to talk about what they use, what they like, and different things like that. So yeah, I just wanted this to be a space where it's just not awkward or embarrassing to talk about. I want this to be a nice open space where, yeah, you can talk about whatever things that you use, and if you found better eco-friendly stuff. I only have one perspective, so if you guys have found, you know, good condom brands or lube brands, please put them in the comments below. I've definitely used things like Fair before, which are a condom brand, and the Yes Yes company, which do sort of organic lubes and things like that. They are expensive, so there are other options. So if you do know any better options, especially in different parts of the world, please leave them in the comments down below. As I said before, I don't think sexual wellness gets talked about enough in sustainability, and it's such a fundamental part of a lot of our relationships. You know, a lot of us do have sex that we want to, and a lot of us don't, but for my relationship in particular, it is a fundamental part, but also it's a fundamental part of my relationship with myself. And I just want to break down any stigmas or awkwardness, because it shouldn't be embarrassing. We're allowed to be sexual people. We're allowed to talk about these things and what's helpful. I mean, maybe we're just getting off topic here. Maybe we're just going into a whole different area. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about these things because I think it's really, really, really important, especially for sexual education as well. At my school, we had the worst sex ed ever. And yeah, I wish I'd had better sex ed when I was young, and being taught not just how to be safe whilst having sex, but also how to have enjoyable sex. I mean, it took, I think, many years to find out what I actually liked, because I was too embarrassed to explore and things like that. So Yes, I would love your experiences. Obviously, I am a straight woman, so my experience is going to be very different from other people's, and also what I use personally is going to be different as well. So I know this community is really diverse, and I am so grateful for that. So if you do have any recommendations for anyone else in the comments, please leave them down below. As you can tell, self-care for me is a lot about food and a lot about being in good company, spending my time how I want to when I have free time, and doing important things like making doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, getting your smear tests and all things like that. But it's also a kind of about, as I've said before, doing future Immy favours. So, you know, I've made myself breakfast tomorrow because I know I'm going to be busy and I'm getting ahead on work. Well, I did on Friday, not at the weekend, so that next week would be easier. Yeah, I just think self-care is different for everyone. And to prevent myself from rambling, I think I'm going to end this video here. Again, sorry for this very random nature of this video, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Next week we're going to have some more structured content, I think. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you very soon. Have you been snoozing? Yeah.
My soul